So I've been surfing any number of years in the Santa Cruz area, and at different times, we have different types of swells, different conditions, different things that happen, and usually when the north swells are coming in the wintertime, it's a little different because it's bigger, you're out further, it could be foggy, it could be any number of things, but you're further out in the bay, to me. I've got a little thing about sharks, so I don't like to be, too way out there. But this one particular day, I was out surfing with a friend of mine, Brenda Scott Rogers, and when it's big at the lane, you paddle out and around the break. It's not at the point, you're paddling out and around the break. So we were out there, and there was a lot of people out. People are catching waves and, surfing past us. And pretty soon Brenda and I are out there. And we each catch kind of a wave in this one set. So we're paddling back out together. And we're talking and, not really paying attention. But, eventually we realized that we were kind of the furthest people out. There was nobody really else around us. And we were just sitting there kind of, 15, 20 feet apart and just chatting. And all of a sudden, it's really hard to even explain how it happened, because all of a sudden there was a whale in the air. And it was so close to us that when it came down, it splashed us. We got rinsed, rolled off our boards. And the thing that I so remember was, not only did it take my breath away, but the eye of this whale, I swear it was this big, and it had barnacles on it that seemed to be 6 or 8 inches, all over the place. And then the coloring and the smell of that whale breath, and just being shocked to death. We both kind of sat back up and got on our boards, and this was before leashes, this was before, a lot of other equipment that we use today. And I remember that there was a lot of bull kelp out there, which is that kelp that's really long, and it used to have the big bulb on it. And those things started popping up, because when the whale rinsed or breached or whatever it did and rinsed us off, it was like the whole area was alive in a different way. And it was really pretty freaky. But then I remember kind of the peacefulness that came with that, and the gift that was for us from the universe, and how we just kind of sat in that moment, and it was like life kind of stood still for a while, because there was still a lot of kind of sloshing and moving about. I wasn't sure where the whale went. We never saw that whale again, within, the next 30 minutes or so. But you really realized that you were in their playground. And that whale was doing something. I don't know if he was, getting a bite to eat or doing whatever, just checking things out. Who knows? But it was, that whale came down 20 feet from me. And that's something that, even when I start talking about it right now, I can almost feel the visceral part of how wild that was. You're just right out there with them. And I've never felt anything like that since. But it's kind of led me, in some ways, there's many other parts to that, but it's really kind of led me to a life of, I think, kind of a heightened level of respect for what ocean animals are, what they do, how they go through their life, and what that must be like for them, just to be able to jump out of the water. And, did they see a surfer? I don't know. I don't know what they know. Did they see that? I doubt it. But it was like this living creature just came by to say hi, and it was immense. And after, sometime, I remember looking over at Brenda again, and I go, I'm getting out of here. Because I thought, that scared the hell out of me, in a way. And then in another way, it was a very spiritual kind of gift, as I mentioned. And so I think we caught another wave and both went in, but every time I see Brenda now, we just kind of go, remember the whale? Oh, yeah, I remember the whale. So that's my whale story.